Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the most explosive controversies in global sports, a political protest that brought the gentleman's game to a grinding halt. First things first, let's just talk about the money, $500 million. That's the estimated value of a single cricket match between India and Pakistan. I mean, we're not just talking about a game here. This is a global broadcast event, a commercial juggernaut, and yeah, one of the most intense rivalries on the entire planet. So what would happen if one of those teams just didn't show up? Well, on February 15th, 2026, that wild hypothetical became a reality. Pakistan announced it would not take the field against India, and you can bet it sent absolute shockwaves through the world of cricket.
So how in the world did this unprecedented boycott actually happen? Let's get right into it.
So the Pakistani government drops this absolute bombshell of a directive. The team, they said, would still play in the World Cup, but they'd be doing what they called selective participation. Think about that. They would play every single other team, but they would boycott the one big match, the marquee event, against their arch-rivals, India.
Yeah, you can imagine a decision this huge wasn't going to land quietly, right? It kicked off an immediate, just chaotic firestorm of reactions from pretty much everywhere. So right away, the sports governing body, the ICC, steps in. They put out this very stern statement, basically warning that this kind of move threatens the entire integrity of a global tournament. They were making it clear just how high the stakes were.
Then you had a lot of the players, the legends of the game, like former Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi, weighing in. He and a lot of others were basically pleading for diplomacy, saying, hey, cricket has always been a tool to bridge political divides, not make them even wider.
But over in India, whoa, a very different story. The reaction there was way more critical. You had former players like Madan Lal, who just flat out called the move self-sabotage. The argument was that by politicizing the game, Pakistan was really only hurting itself.
But here's the thing, a protest like this doesn't just happen out of nowhere. If you really want to get why this happened, you got to look back. This whole thing was the explosive climax of years of simmering disputes and, frankly, a lot of broken promises.
You can see this trail of grievances goes back years. It all kind of kicks off in 2014 with a signed deal for regular matches that India just never followed through on, saying they couldn't get government permission. By 2018, Pakistan tried to fight it legally at the ICC, but that failed. And then it seems the final straw was the decision in 2026 to kick Bangladesh out of this very tournament after they raised security concerns, a move that Pakistan was furious about.
And that's the immediate trigger, the thing that officially set this all off. According to Pakistani officials, this whole boycott is an act of solidarity. See, Bangladesh asked for its matches to be moved out of India because of security issues, and the ICC's answer wasn't to move the games, it was to remove the entire team. In a 14-2 vote, Pakistan and Bangladesh were the only two nations who voted against it.
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this crisis, we have to pull the lens back a bit. We need to talk about the massive power imbalance that basically runs modern cricket today.
Yeah, one source puts it pretty bluntly. The International Cricket Council, the ICC, is supposed to be this independent body that governs the sport for everyone. But the reality, a lot of people argue, is that it's effectively run by the BCCI, the Board of Control for Cricket in India.
So you might be asking, how does that actually work? Well, it really all comes down to money. India's financial power is just immense. It generates most of the sport's revenue, period. Its market of over 1 billion fans calls the shots for broadcasters and sponsors. And that leverage is so powerful that even big-time cricket boards like England and Australia are financially dependent on playing against India. It's what makes India the Pied Piper of world cricket. Where they go, everyone else has to follow.
So, all of this leads us to the huge central question here. Was this a principled stand against a system that Pakistan saw as unjust? Or was it just a catastrophic miscalculation with some really severe consequences?
You can really see the gamble here, right? On one hand, you have Pakistan trying to take this moral high ground, protesting what it sees as India's unchecked power and showing solidarity with a smaller nation. But on the other hand, man, the price they might have to pay is just incredibly high, forfeiting points, losing out on millions, and risking major sanctions from the ICC. And those consequences, they are very, very real. First, on the field, they just hand 2 free points to their biggest rival, which could crush their World Cup hopes. Then there's the money. The ICC could decide to withhold their entire revenue share from the tournament. And finally, you've got the legal mess, where broadcasters who paid a fortune for the specific match could sue for massive damages. And that leaves us with this one big, lingering question. Is this a real turning point for world cricket? A bold act of defiance that could actually force a conversation about fairness and power? Or is it something else entirely? Is it, like one critic put it, just a captive shouting into a straitjacket? A desperate move from a nation with no real cards left to play?